What is going on, guys? My name is Stuber, and I'm here to break down this 8-game NBA slate on Draftkings Fanduel, and of course the sponsor of this video, prizepicks.com. But man, we had an absolutely nuclear night in NBA yesterday. Everybody was focused on NFL. While we were focused on NBA, we had multiple members win over $10,000 yesterday. One on FanDuel, one on DraftKings. And again, guys, I provide this for completely free. If you guys want to join, get my lineups, my FanDuel lineups, I provide a full FanDuel lineup for completely free to you guys. And this is the lineup that won $11,000 for a member just yesterday. And all I ask for in return is if you guys could subscribe, like this video, and then comment below with your favorite play of the day. It really helps me out. And let's set a goal of over 100 likes in this video. We hit it last time. You guys had my back on that. Let's keep the streak up over 100 likes. Would really appreciate that. Really helps out my algorithm. I'm really trying to get this out to more people. But if you guys haven't already, make sure to join that Discord. The link is in the description, or it's going to be up here somewhere. You need to be in there. I'll let you take a look at it right now. I'll show you guys what it's all about. So over here on Twitter, if you don't follow me already, make sure to do so at Taylor Stuber. Link is also in the description. Man, this is one of our members won $11,000. But if you actually take a look in the Discord, I have all these tabs right here. Free content is where I post all of my stuff. But yeah, look, we had Koopa Mania in the Discord, won $10,000, binked it over on DraftKings. And then this is what you guys are going to get for free every single day. My cheat sheet for DraftKings, a quick breakdown of what to do, my complete FanDuel lineup, and updates throughout the day whenever this stuff happens. And then I do post game notes. So as you are watching this video, my game notes for today are going to be up. So you can go back and reference everything and create your lineups based off this. These take me 4 or 5 hours every single day to put these, to compile these game notes. And so yeah, if you guys could subscribe, like this video, comment, do all that, I would really appreciate it. And then I do live stream an hour before lock over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taylor Stuber. I answer pretty much every single question in there. That's how I differentiate myself between everybody else. But yeah, just you could go through the winning lineups tab and just everybody is winning big money on a consistent basis. But let's just go into the slate. All right, we will start with the New York Knicks at the Charlotte Hornets at 210 over under. Hornets are 4.5 point favorites. So yeah, it's the same thing. Alec Burks, Obi Toppin, Frank Ntilikina, they are out. Taj Gibson is questionable. He's yet to play for this Knicks team just yet. We'll see if he gets in the rotation. But as of right now, the rotation is pretty much 6 players playing pretty big minutes. With the starting lineup plus Austin Rivers. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle continue to lead the league in minutes with over 38 minutes per game. They are blowout proof. It does not matter if the game blows out. They're going to play all the minutes they can handle, get a plus matchup against the Charlotte Hornets. They are both definitely viable. It looks like Elfrid Payton is going to play around 34 minutes a game. And then Mitchell Robinson, he's only 5,500, and it looks like he's completely supplanted Nerlens Noel as the starting center. We saw him play 41 minutes the other game. Now, obviously, Noel was out that game. But in these other games, he played 27, which was kind of a fluky situation. But last game, he played 34 minutes and was on pace to play even more before the game ended up blowing out. So if we get him playing 34 plus minutes at 5,500, he's averaged over a fantasy point per minute since last year. I love Mitchell Robinson. Move over to the Charlotte Hornets. Cody Zeller, he is out. And like I said last time, guys, if you can predict the game that LaMelo Ball is going to play over 30 minutes this year before everyone starts playing him, you are absolutely going to rake in the cash. And if you did it right after I said that same exact day in that video, he played 31 minutes, and look what he did. 61 fantasy points. Absolutely broke the slate. And Borrego rewards good play. So if he's going to continue to play well like this, his minutes are going to continue to trend up. I truly believe that he's the second best player on this team, and he's up there with Gordon Hayward. He's definitely better than the other guards, better than Terry Rozier, better than Devontae Graham. And so he gets another good matchup against the New York Knicks. Still only $7,000. Now he's going to be a lot more popular after being the youngest player to ever record a triple-double. The hype is real. But I don't mind going back to the well with LaMelo Ball. This year he has a 24.6% usage rating, 13.3 total rebound percentage, 35.4 assist percentage, averaging 1.34 fantasy points per minute. He leads the team in all rates outside of total rebound percentage, where he's only 0.3% behind Bismack Biyombo. So this dude just oozes fantasy points. He was made for DFS. And then Gordon Hayward on the same team. He's playing big minutes, around 35 minutes per game, 24.5% usage rating, averaging 1.09 fantasy points per minute. And actually, I like his over on Prize Picks at 37. I like the over on 37. If you guys want to help me out, like really help me out, really help me out, sign up and deposit over here using code Taylor, TAYLOR. You'll receive a 100% match bonus up to $100. It's a parlay system. You decide the overs and unders on multiple players. The more players that you add, the more money you can win. You can up to 10x your money if you get 4 of these correct. So yeah, it's a pretty good time over there. And then one last thing to note for the Hornets is Bismack Biyombo has been losing minutes in favor of PJ Washington. We've seen them closing the games out with PJ at the 5 and Biyombo just not being in the rotation nearly as much as he was when Cody Zeller was first ruled out. So move over to the Memphis Grizzlies at the Cleveland Cavaliers at 217.5 over under. Cavaliers are 2-point favorites. John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., John Concher are all out. They've been out the last couple of games. And then Jonas Valanciunas, he left last game, mid-game, due to COVID protocol. But it looks like he's good to go this game. But he's been kind of losing minutes to Gorgui Dieng anyways. So if he's not going to play 32 minutes like we were expecting, especially with John Morant out, I'm not really all that interested in him at that price tag. And then D'Anthony Melton. Now, he was like my value play the other day. Really panned out. Played 22 minutes. His minutes continue to trend upwards. And he's playing minutes next to Tyus Jones, which means the upside for minutes are likely to continue to trend up. Still 3,800, averages over a fantasy point per minute. Think he's a pretty solid play at 3.8K. Not nearly as good as the 3K we got him last game, or I believe he was like 3,400. But still a decent play in its own right. Brandon Clark continues to start. He benefited massively last game with Jonas Valanciunas being ruled out midway through the game. But he should average over a fantasy point per minute, should play around 30 minutes. I think he's a decent play at 6.1K. And then the rest of these guys I think are just entirely too expensive with their current situations because the minutes are very, very spread out amongst these Grizzlies. Move over to the Cavaliers, one of my favorite teams on the slate. Kevin Love, Darius Garland, Kevin Porter Jr., Dante Exum, Matthew Dellavedova, they are all out. Colin Sexton is questionable. If Sexton misses again, Damian Dotson is going to enter the starting lineup for the third straight game. This year, Damian Dotson, or the last 2 games that Damian Dotson has started, he's played 35 and 41 minutes, just big minutes. I mean, this team is really thin right now, and so whoever's starting is bound to play big minutes, even in blowouts. So Damian Dotson is not too bad of a play. His price has raised all the way up to 4.9K. I think he's a solid like B tier play. And then Cedi Osman, he has a 33% usage rating, or assist percentage rather, when Dante Exum and Darius Garland are off the court this year. He's the guy who runs the offense. Now, he busted last game, and he played about as poorly as he possibly could have. Still squeaked out a manageable game. It didn't completely kill you, but he's still just as good a play this game as he was last game. But they decreased his price to 5.9K, and his ownership's going to be lower because a lot of people got burned by him last time. So I'm going to go back to the well with a lot of Cedi Osman. I think he's a great play in this game. He should play 36 to 40 minutes, honestly, in a pace-up game against the Memphis Grizzlies. So I love Cedi Osman today. And then Isaac Okoro should play 34-plus minutes. He's only 3.6K. That's a good value play. And then Andre Drummond. 34% usage rating, 27.5 total rebound percentage, 17.3 assist percentage, 1.38 fantasy points per minute without Garland, Exum, and Love on the court this year. And you could go all the way back to last year. Without Kevin Love and Garland on the court, he absolutely smashes in scenarios like this. The only problem is Joel Embiid is only a couple $100 more, which is going to lead me to not playing as much Andre Drummond, but he's an amazing play regardless. Why not play both? I think they're both great plays. And we have seen JaVale McGee play minutes next to Andre Drummond recently. So if that's the current situation, Andre Drummond, I absolutely love. He played 41 minutes last game, and a lot of it had to do with JaVale McGee playing minutes next to him rather than eating into his minutes at the 5. So that was the problem with Andre Drummond at the beginning of the year, or the last couple of games, because he just wasn't getting as many minutes as we thought he would. But so yeah, if McGee's going to play next to him and he's going to play 40 minutes a game, absolutely love Andre Drummond. Move over to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic. Now, this game was crazy last time when we got this news, or this team, Milwaukee team. Torrey Craig is out this game, so they are healthy. Giannis Antetokounmpo is probable, should return after that one game's absence. Seldom are these Milwaukee Bucks games ever competitive. Either they're blowing out a team or they're getting blown out by the New York Knicks like we saw earlier this year. But when they do... when they are in competitive games, like this game indicates it well, it's only a 7.5 point spread. The starters are playing bigger minutes than we've seen in years past, like 36, 38 minutes for Giannis in close games. He's going to be very, very low owned with guys like Bradley Beal and Joel Embiid on the slate. People are paying up for other guys than Giannis, but you're going to get Giannis and Luka Doncic. You're going to get Giannis at very, very low ownership. If he could play 36, 38 minutes, he's averaged nearly 2 fantasy points per minute since last year. So he's going to be very, very low owned. And then the rest of the guys, I'm really not all that interested in. We've seen a lot of their prices rise, as if Giannis was going to miss this game. So I'm not really on any of these guys. Move over to the Orlando Magic. So Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, they are both out. Obviously, Fultz is out for the year. Evan Fournier is questionable. So Cole Anthony has started each of the last 2 games in the absence of Michael Carter-Williams and Markelle Fultz. But his rates have absolutely plummeted. Playing next to the starters, he's not even really fancy viable at 5.6K. There's no way in hell I'm paying for him at this point. We saw his rates as a backup were really, really good, but playing next to the starters, the offense is completely running through Nikola Vucevic. He has a 29.6% usage rating, 19.8 total rebound percentage, 24.5 assist percentage, which is highest on the team, averaging 1.46 fantasy points per minute without Fultz and Michael Carter-Williams on the court. So he's a great play. And then Aaron Gordon, one of these sneakier plays on the slate. Like his price on Fanduel, like his price over here on Draftkings, he is off his minutes limit. And I told you guys, once he is off his minutes limit, I'm going to be all over him. So last game was the first game he was off his minutes limit, played 36 minutes. He's a 27% usage rating, 9.6 total rebound percentage, 19.5 assist percentage, averaging 1 fantasy point per minute without Fultz and Michael Carter-Williams on the court. And he has shot poorly lately. So if his shot starts falling with a 27% usage rating, he could destroy this price tag. And I've been praising him since the preseason. His new role on this team is amazing. Seemingly. And 6.7K is probably a bit too cheap for him. And then Terrence Ross, I think he plays 30 to 32 minutes, even if Evan Fournier returns. He's a 27.5% usage rating, averaging 0.98 fantasy points per minute. The only reason he hasn't got there lately is because of blowouts and some foul trouble. Move over to the Phoenix Suns and the Washington Wizards at 215.5 over-under. Suns are 5.5 point favorites. So the Suns, Jalen Smith is out. Campaign is doubtful. Campaign being out probably gives it a couple more minutes to Langston Galloway or Javon Carter. Pretty negligible things. Campaign's only playing about 15 minutes a game. But the Wizards, they have the highest pace in the league, in the second worst defensive rating in the league. So this is the best fantasy matchup for any team in the league against the Washington Wizards. And this game does project to be close, only a 5.5 point spread. So guys like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, they're fine plays. But the thing is that DeAndre Ayton and Booker's rates have all come way down playing next to Chris Paul, which is understandable because Chris Paul has the ball in his hand a lot. He has a massive 42.1% assist percentage, and actually he's the guy I like the most on this team, averaging 1.07 fantasy points per minute. And should play like 32, 34 minutes. We've seen him play 36 minutes just a couple games ago. But this matchup is great. DeAndre Ayton at 7.3K. I don't mind him at all either. He averages about 1.05 fantasy points per minute. And this is a big plus matchup. I'm not really interested in Devin Booker all that much. But again, this matchup is so good that a lot of these guys could work. But they're running a really tight rotation. It's the 5 starters plus Dario Saric. Jay Crowder probably isn't going to reach 30 minutes all that often. But the other 4 starters should play 32 plus minutes pretty easily. Mikal Bridges had an amazing game last game, but wouldn't expect that on a normal basis, that kind of shooting. Moving to the Washington Wizards. Russell Westbrook, Thomas Bryant, they are both out. Thomas Bryant's out for the year. That's unfortunate. Russell Westbrook, quadriceps, I believe, but he's going to be out. So that's going to leave Ish Smith or Raul Neto starting. Probably Neto. He started last time. But like I said, I was concerned with playing these guys last time because I thought there was a chance that they would only split the 48 point guard minutes, which would really cap their upside because I didn't think they were going to play all that many minutes, and that's exactly what happened. Raul Neto played 20 minutes. Ish Smith played 28 minutes. So they raised their prices as well. Not that interested in them. And like I said, again, when they are out there on the court, they're likely going to be next to Bradley Beal today. So that's going to make that they're not running point guard when they're out there on the court. It's going to be Bradley Beal. They're going to be out there running around. And so, they were playing without Bradley Beal last game, but now they have to play next to him. And by the way, Bradley Beal, a 41.4% usage rating, 9.9 total rebound percentage, 25.8 assist percentage, averaging 1.63 fantasy points per minute without Westbrook on the court. Not the best matchup, but he will have all the opportunity in the world to score fantasy points today. Love Bradley Beal. Probably my favorite spin-up option, him and Joel Embiid. Going to try to get both of them in my lineups today. And then without Thomas Bryant, Robin Lopez will likely start, but he's a veteran. He doesn't play all that much. I couldn't imagine him playing more than like 22, 24 minutes, which is going to leave the rest of the minutes for Moritz Wagner, who played over 20 minutes last game, but ended up fouling out. I was curious to see if he would have ended up closing the game if he hadn't fouled out. But instead of Robin Lopez coming back in the game, they closed with Rui Hachimura. So we're probably going to see Robin Lopez start, Wagner get some backup run at the 5, and Rui Hachimura get some backup run at the 5 as well. This is a bit against a bigger DeAndre Ayton, so more than likely they're not going to close with Hachimura against DeAndre Ayton. It's going to be Wagner. It's going to be Robin Lopez. But Wagner, very good per minute producer. So if he could play 24 minutes at 4.1K or 3.6K rather, he could be a really good point per dollar play. Moving to the Philadelphia 76ers at the Atlanta Hawks. Are 215.5 over under. Hawks are 6.5 point favorites. Actually, I gotta fix my notes here. But the 76ers. Now, if you guys played the in-game showdown or the showdown the other day with me, I won the tournament with Tyrese Maxey at captain. That was nice. Good chunk of change in my pocket after that. But the 76ers. So Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, Terrence Ferguson, they are all out this game. Looks like Mike Scott is probable to play this game, so they only have 9 active players. But the thing to say is they have 9 active players, but 3 of them are only going to play minutes at the center, and 2 of those guys are playing behind Joel Embiid, who's probably going to play 36, 38 minutes this game. So we have 6 players that are going to split all of the minutes from between the 1 and the 4 position. So we're going to see big minutes from these guys. So Joel Embiid, absolutely love him. 39.6% usage rating, 23.2 total rebound percentage, 21.2 assist percentage, averaging 1.65 fantasy points per minute without Tobias Harris and Simmons since the beginning of last year. So a large sample size. Should play big minutes. And then Tyrese Maxey, shout out to him. He's goated in my book. Won me a lot of money the other day. And Danny Green should play massive minutes. Isaiah Joe, look how many minutes he played just this last game. 45 minutes. Like, we could see all these guys play 36, 38 minutes in a pace-up game against the Atlanta Hawks, who are one of the worst defensive-rated teams in the league. All these guys are great plays. I'm pretty much going to be locking in Maxey, Green, and Joel Embiid in the majority of my lineups. I think Isaiah Joe is definitely viable. But my only problem with Joe is that if he's not playing that well, they might put in Matthias or Paul Reed. But it doesn't even really matter because he was playing pretty poor last game, and they were playing Isaiah Joe over these other guys. The good thing about Isaiah Joe is that he was already in the rotation before all of these injuries ended up happening. So he should play big minutes again. Now, I wouldn't expect 45 minutes, but he could literally play 40 minutes again, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. He was only 4.1K. Move over to the just to reiterate, you're going to want to focus on this Philadelphia team for sure. They have even when the game blows out, they're going to have to play these guys. Move over to the Atlanta Hawks. Danilo Gallinari, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Chris Dunn, Rajon Rondo. They are out. Onyeka Okongwu is questionable. Bogdanovic exited the game early. He did start that game, but Cam Reddish ended up starting the second half after Bogdanovic went out, ended up playing 19 of the last 24 minutes. And so with Bogdanovic being out, guys like DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, and Cam Reddish, their minutes are very secure in the 32, 33 minute range. So they are definitely more than viable. I think Clint Capella, John Collins, they're a bit too pricey for me. And then Trae Young, I mean, nobody's going to play him today because of these other the other studs tonight are in just such smash spots in situations that people are going to overlook Trae Young. He's fine as a pure contrarian play. Obviously, his raw projection is going to be much lower than these other studs. But obviously, he has a immense upside on a game-to-game basis. Move over to the New Orleans Pelicans at the Dallas Mavericks. A 214 over-under. Mavericks are 4-point favorites, which is funny because they're missing a ton of players. But the Pelicans, Steven Adams is questionable with a migraine, which if he's questionable with a migraine, that must be a serious migraine, just with how tough Steven Adams is. But if he does miss, we should see Jackson Hayes fill in the starting role. He's averaged 0.89 fantasy points per minute this year. And then if he gets a start, Willie Hernangomez will likely, Jackson Hayes, only 3.1K, will likely see Willie Hernangomez get some backup minutes at the 5, and Zion Williamson as well. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, really the only other two players on this team that I'm interested in. Brandon Ingram, a 29.4% use rating, 10.8 total rebound percentage, 28.6 assist percentage, averaging 1.25 fantasy points per minute, playing 36, 38, 40 minutes in competitive games. And then Zion Williamson, a 30% use rating, 14.2 assist percentage, or total rebound percentage. Actually, I got to change that in my notes real quick. Averaging 1.14 fantasy points per minute. Now, he's been disappointing this year, but his price has come down quite a bit. 7.8K, I think, is still a bit too cheap for him. Like his price over on FanDuel as well. Only 7.7K. Very good play over there. Don't mind him whatsoever. And then move over to the Dallas Mavericks. Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson, they are all out again. Kristaps Porzingis and Maxi Kleber are questionable. The Maxi Kleber situation is very weird. Like initially he was ruled out for 7 to 14 days or something like that because of protocol, 10 to 14 days maybe, something like that. But now he's questionable. It's something we're going to have to monitor because he's going to play with all these other guys being ruled out already. That would open up even more minutes and the rotation would become even tighter. I'd be interested in James Johnson for sure in that scenario. And then Kristaps Porzingis looks like he could possibly make his season debut, but we saw it last year when he was making his first couple of games with the Dallas Mavericks. They'll take it very slow with him. Only play minutes in the teens, I would assume, if he even does play. But Luka Doncic is the guy I want to talk about. I mean, my God. A 43.5% usage rating, 18.5 total rebound percentage, 55 assist percentage, averaging 1.86 fantasy points per minute without Josh Richardson on the court this year. Leads his team in all rates, 11.3K. If I'm spending up on a guy in this price range, it's going to be Luka. I like him more than Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then Tim Hardaway, he had an absolutely massive game last time out. He had a 28.3% usage rating, 1.26 fantasy points per minute without Josh Richardson this year, and a pretty good sample size. And then Trey Burke, man, I had a ton of him. Like, he was minimum price. It was hard for me not to play him. He played out of his mind this last game, but only managed to play 21 minutes. He shot 11 for 13. Scored 29 real points in 21 minutes, and they only played him 21 minutes. So with them raising his price to 4.5K, I'm just not nearly as interested, especially since I can get Tyrese Maxey for pretty much the same exact price. Much, much better play. And then these last two games, if you guys want to know my thoughts and what you should do in DFS with these last two games, you're going to have to join that Discord. The link is below. My game-by-game notes, as you're watching this video, will be up in there. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Very, very important to see you, to be in there. I'll be answering questions throughout the day, but I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys made it to the end of the video, let me know. Big shout out to you if you did. But best of luck to you today. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll see you guys in the live stream an hour before, twitch.tv/Taylor Stuber. Link is in the description. Let's take down some more shit today. And until next time, peace.